The scene began with an arrow striking a target but missing the bullseye. The boy, holding a bow, yelled in frustration that he had lost. The scene then shifted. Another girl, seen in the background, called out to Yu, telling him that, as usual, he would be buying the bread tomorrow. Yu turned and called out to Yako. Yako thought to herself that all she had to do was beat Yu and get bread the next day. Facing forward, she considered what an efficient way it was to get food. Yu then yelled at Yako, complaining that she always picked the biggest and most expensive ones and warning her that she was going to get fat. Yako stood tall, towering over Yu. Yu glared at her and asked what she meant. Yako, walking away, called him shorty. Yu, furious, shouted that he would never forgive her and told her not to run away. Someone from behind told Yu to calm down. Yu reacted with confusion. The man, who was sensei, handed Yu an object and told him it was a consolation prize, remarking that he had lost again. Yu looked angry while drinking from a carton and wondered aloud how Yako was so good. Sensei replied that she was his daughter after all. Yu accused Sensei of being just a doting parent. The scene shifted to Sensei and Yu was sitting outside, with Yu looking down at the ground. Sensei asked why Yu wanted to beat Yako so badly. Yu replied that it was obvious. Yu yelled while drinking from the carton that it was because he could not stand her. Sensei looked surprised. Yu continued, saying that Yako always made that smug face as if she did not even think he had a chance, that she did not even see him as a rival, and that it infuriated him that he could not catch up to someone like her. Yu looked determined and declared that he was absolutely going to win. He then added that he would make that beautiful face of hers twist with frustration, laughing afterward. Sensei looked at Yu and told him that he was kind of twisted himself. A hand was shown writing something intensely. The scene shifted to a classroom filled with various couples sitting close together, with heart shapes floating around them. Yu, intensely focused on writing, yelled at someone for staring. Another boy, wearing glasses, was sitting nearby. The boy commented that there were way too many couples at the school and told Yu not to be jealous because it was pathetic. Yu thought angrily to himself that he was not jealous. The boy then asked why Yu did not just confess to that senpai too. Yu asked who he meant. The boy responded that he meant Yako senpai. Yu leaned over and repeated Yako's name, yelling that she was only his childhood friend. He then added that she was the girl he was going to crush completely one day. The boy leaned back and told Yu that he had a lot of rivals and no chance anyway. Yu was shocked and asked if Yako was really that popular. The boy replied by asking how Yu was realizing this only now. Yako was then shown in a dynamic pose holding her bow. It was revealed that she was first in archery tournaments, had great grades, stunning looks, and a cool beauty that made her very popular. There was even a rumor she had a fan club. Yu yelled that a cool beauty sounded disgusting and called her just a nasty girl with a nice face who was tall and good at archery. The boy with glasses told Yu that he obviously had a huge tiny crush on her. Yu clenched his jaw and replied dismissively. He leaned in aggressively and declared that he had no interest in superficial stuff like that, and that the only thing he cared about was archery and beating Yako. The boy puffed out his cheeks and asked if Yu was not even a little interested. Yu shouted that he was not. Two girls nearby were shown talking. One asked if the other had heard that Yoshida-kun was going to confess behind the school right now. The boy with glasses leaned toward Yu and called to him. Yu turned to look. The scene shifted again. The boy with glasses leaned over Yu, who looked shocked and startled, and questioned what Yu meant by not being interested in superficial stuff. Yu was shown peering around a corner. He told the boy to shut up and said that watching other people go through this was fun. Yu then asked who the girl was. The boy replied that it was Ayumu from class 2, the Jairu who was nice to Otaku, and commented that she was Yoshida's type. The boy added that, objectively, it did not look like Yoshida had much of a shot. Yu made a sound of agreement. The boy began to ask what they should say to Yoshida after he got rejected, but Yu interrupted, asking what was wrong. Both Yu and the boy looked up at the school building. The boy asked if that was Yako. Yako was shown standing tall and looking down. The scene then shifted down to the ground. Yu shoved the boy aside and yelled up at Yako in shock, demanding to know what she was doing up there. The boy adjusted his glasses and asked what was going on with that guy. Yu yelled again, demanding to know what Yako was doing and accusing her of trying to die like that. He said he would not forgive her for running away with a win either. Yako called out Yu's name. Yu turned his back to her and yelled at her not to be reckless. Yako tried to explain that it was not what he thought, but her foot suddenly slipped. Yako was shown falling as she slipped, gasping in shock. Yu's eyes widened in panic, and he lunged toward her. Yako was shown mid-fall as large wings suddenly burst from her back. The scene then shifted to Yu, who looked confused and angry, asking if she was a Cupid. Yako held up an ID card to Yu, showing that it was her license, passed down from generation to generation. Yu asked if she was that naked flying person holding a bow. Yako looked at Yu in shock, thinking that he was a pervert. Yako then grew serious and explained that Yu was right and that making couples with love arrows was her job. She told Yu to look. Yu asked what she meant. He then looked shocked as Yoshida and the girl were shown kissing, surrounded by flowers. Yu reacted in surprise. Yako explained that when Cupid's arrow struck, feelings toward the person in front overflowed. Yu looked frightened, shivering, and called it scary. He then asked if the reason there were so many couples in the school was because of her. Yako stood proudly with her hands on her hips and confirmed it, boasting that she was amazing at her job, ranked #1 in the number of couples, and that becoming the top Cupid was only a matter of time. As Yu walked away, looking at the kissing couple, he thought that they were looking his way. The scene shifted as an arrow flew past his head, startling him. He turned to see an arrow stuck in the building behind him. Yako was shown aiming her bow, assuring him there would be no leaks. She held an arrow with a distinctive tip and said that if ordinary people found out, she would make them fall for her using those arrows, saying that they would not be able to resist anymore. Yu looked terrified and shivered. Yako, serious, stated that their existence was top secret and that no one outside the family should know. Yu scrambled away in a panic, yelling as he ran. He shouted that Yako was the one who had spilled everything. Yako, calm, told him not to move, explaining that she was not used to moving targets. Yu shouted that no one would want to be hit. Yako assured him that it would not hurt and that it was just the tip, which made Yu yell at her never to say that publicly. Yako, still aiming, looked confused and asked what he meant. Yu continued running as arrows narrowly missed him, yelling for her to stop. Yako commented that he was very agile. She caught an arrow and looked serious. Yu kept running down a winding path, breathing heavily and saying that she had stopped firing and that being that far away meant even Yako could not reach him. Suddenly, Yako appeared beside him with her wings outstretched. Yu, shocked, uttered the word hit. Yako soared above Yu, carrying him bridal style as he screamed in panic. Looking down at him, Yako told him to rest assured. Yu, terrified, demanded to know what she was doing. Yako, flying high above the clouds, told him that as long as he stayed away from her, he would be able to live a normal life, and that it was the rational and best choice. She then threw Yu away from her. As he fell, Yu yelled that she was always like that, caring only about being rational or efficient, never looking or trying to understand how he felt. Yako, falling too, looked shocked and said that she did not quite understand what he meant. Yu yelled that a life without Yako was not worth it. Yako spread her wings and embraced Yu, catching both of them midair as feathers drifted around them. Yu, kneeling on the ground afterward, looked terrified and exclaimed that he thought he was going to die. Yako stood nearby, serious, and told him to stop doing anything reckless. Yako called out Yu's name and tried to speak about earlier. Yu sat on the ground as Yako walked away, thinking that a life without a rival was the worst and boring as hell. Yako looked back and asked if he still did not understand that. She said she now understood his point and that for Yu, that actually sounded logical. Yu looked shocked. An arrow decorated with flowers struck Yako. Yu shouted about the arrow. Covered in flowers and deeply shocked, Yako stated that, in other words, they were going to get married, right? Yu looked confused and asked what she meant.